These balloons also represent, in my mind, the unity of the people of Leeds who have a shared culture and celebrate our diversity. Young people will also be distributing roses.
I think it's quite important we recognise the importance of Islam in Leeds and the whole of Britain. It's a major force for peace if it's properly understood, and people sometimes don't understand it properly.
Thank you, Peter.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking the believers to be maintainers of justice, to be just. And not only that, they should also be witnesses for the sake of Allah. So they should try and maintain the justice and also ask others to do the same.
So the Prophet came as a liberator, as a reformist. And the balloons, by releasing the balloons, it signifies, when the balloons actually flew out, it actually signifies the removal of the shackle, the removal of the net, and the balloons went. And that was why we had this event.
You know, in his latest letter to the West, the Supreme Leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Sayyid Ali Khamenei, says something very, very interesting, and I want to draw the parallel here with regards to the intra-Muslim relations. He basically says that to the non-Muslims, after these terrorist attacks that took place in Paris, read the Quran for yourselves, dear non-Muslims. Speak to Muslims. Don't listen to what the media are telling you. And this trend, if we applied it to ourselves as Sunnis and Shias, instead of listening to propaganda about one another, instead of hearsay, false accusations, if we actually speak together, come together, celebrate occasions together, pray together, have study circles together, we will alleviate these ignorance. And inshallah, we will have a better world and for our children, for our future generations, and we'll deal with many of the problems we have.
Before I start my speech, I do want to give you the greetings of Her Majesty the Queen. The Queen does take a great interest in what her representatives do and often asks for reports of what we have done. And I can assure you I will be sending a report, a very good report, on all that I've done and witnessed and seen today. And I wanted to make that very clear, that the Queen will get to know.
In any case, this is what Love Muhammad campaign is aiming to do, to remove the misconceptions about Islam and tell each other, listen, I'm literally just like you. I have a sports club that I support, I go to the gym, I go to work, I pay my taxes, and so on and so forth. So sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And the orphan who'd lost a parent, to my kindness and love him I treat. And when asked where I found such lessons, I take their hands to Muhammad meet.
He came to get humanity out of the darkness towards the light. So that's what he said, لا تدخلون الجنة, that you cannot enter the paradise unless what you do? Until you love with one another.
If you look at Isa, you see him praying for his opponents upon the crucifix. If you look at Muhammad, you see him forgiving his adversaries. At the height of power, he declares, in a context that was previously one of exploitation, immorality, Arab supremacy, inferiority of women and slaves, the preference of white over black. He states at that point, as of this day, all of you are one and the same in the eyes of God. There is no preference of white over black, nor man over woman, nor a free man over a slave, nor a rich over poor, nor a learned over ignorant, nor a believer of one faith over another.
As a Muslim community on a national and an international stage, we have been victims of identity theft. The theft of our very own Muslim identity. Some people have stolen the identity of our religion. They claim to be acting in the name of our religion. In the course of doing so, they are committing crimes so heinous and acting so savagely in their activities. We know a Muhammad referred to by his society, be they friend or be they foe, as Al-Amin, the truthful, as As-Sadiq, the trustworthy, because of his kindness, his honesty and his integrity. We know a Muhammad of forbearance and forgiveness,